Hi, Wannabe Homesteaders. This is Cheryl of, what am I of? Wannabe Homesteader. My gosh, we've got quilt tube, floss tube, and Wannabe Homesteaders. And now I'm getting confused. So, hi everybody. I'm just sitting here having a cup of coffee, getting ready for my day. And I was talking to my oldest sister last night, and wait, I need a drink. And we were talking about some of the clothes that our parents had made for us over the years, just over all the years. And we used to make a lot of our own, or at least I did. I don't know if my other two sisters did, but I did. And anyway, it was just fun chatting about that. And it made me think that you might want to see some of the clothing that I've collected over the years from my great-grandmother, my mom, and then clothes that were made for me and given to me. My grandpa was he was a Filipino merchant marine. He was my step-grandpa, but he was the only grandpa I knew. And I was his favorite. Although my two older sisters might disagree with that. Anyway, so although he would take me to go get the candy. I don't know if he ever took them to go get candy. They lived in San Francisco. They must not have lived too far from Fisherman's Wharf, because I remember us going to Fisherman's Wharf all the time. And they lived in like a row house, and they were, I don't remember if they were on the first floor or the second floor, but I do remember you would walk upstairs. I think they were on the second floor, and it was like this long, skinny apartment, and the kitchen was at the far back, and it was at the very back end. And I remember I would run into my grandpa, and he'd say he was going to take me to go get fish, and then I would hear my parents say, "Don't you buy her any candy," and he'd say, "Okay." And then, of course, I'd come back with a bag full of candy. So he would always bring us treats from when he went on his different merchant marine trips. I remember getting a fluffy dog from, I think it was from Paris, and then I had a little purse from Vietnam, and I'll show you the pajamas that I got from Hong Kong when he went. Anyway, he loved to spoil us. And he died in 1968. I was 10 years old. And to this day, I miss him. I think about him all the time. I loved him so much. It's like, how can somebody in 10 years impact you so much? But he did. He did. It makes me tear up thinking about how much I miss him. But anyway, generations of sewing, and he was a cook. He was a cook on the Merchant Marine, which is probably why I love to cook, because I would sit on, I don't know if you remember those old red stools, and then they had little ladders that would pull out. I would sit on top of that and watch him cook. My favorite ones were always his flank cut.
Is Lady ready to go for a walk?
Okay. Okay, Ed's taking Lady for a walk. Anyway, I don't remember where I was at. So before I start, one more drink, because I didn't get my coffee this morning. So get your stitching. Oh, I just spilt all over. Get your stitching, and just sit back and watch and enjoy. We'll see where it goes. Okay, so the first, I'm gonna kind of go in an order. This first one is, now, I don't know, it's always like, this is what I was told, but, and who knows if I'm even remembering what I was told correctly. But my understanding is this was a nightie of either my great-grandmother, Mabel Van Zant, or my grandmother, Helen Van Zant. but my mom told me it was great grandma's. So I don't, I think it was her grandma's. So I don't know what year this is. Someday I'm going to take this in to get, I think it's a slip, although my mom said she thought it was a 90, but I think it was a slip for under a dress. You tell me what you think. Anyway, here it is. Look at that lace. Look at that work on there. Isn't that beautiful? Either way, this is really old and it's just beautiful. I mean, the little daisies that are on that fabric are incredible. So that's the dress part. This is why my mom thought it was a 90, is because it had this little jacket. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Which she could be right. I mean, I just don't want to picture my great grandma. Although, it is what it is. Look at the back. Look at that lace. Ruching on that ribbon. Anyway, that was either my great grandma's or my grandma's. I believe it was my great grandma's. So there's that one. And this one, oh, I gotta do this one first. This one is my mom's wedding dress. And these boxes I got off of Legacy Box. And anyway, they're made to protect the fabric from the light. So without sealing it. So let's see. She had in here, I used to have this for years just on a mannequin. Colleen didn't like that I did that. So it had a little slip, which it's gotten some wear on the slip. Still in pretty good condition. And then here is her dress. And this is like a summer wedding dress. They were married in August, if I remember correctly. So here's the dress. Sorry it's so wrinkly, but I didn't want to take it out of the box. It's gotten some, I just picture her sticking her hand in her pocket to put her she always had a hanky and she would stick it in her sleeve. So I'm picturing her sticking her hanky in there, which is why it's torn. Anyway, wasn't that beautiful? Simple. I have a wedding picture. They had either the whole wedding, or I think they got married in a church, but they had the reception at their house, at my grandma's house. So I have pictures of her cutting the cake with my dad. My dad was in his uniform. He was in the Air Force. And then this is the first thing she ever made, or at least that's what I was told. So I have to laugh because it's literally made out of the heaviest material I could imagine. And to me, it looks like it was, I don't know, it looks like it's either curtain or or upholstery material. But this waist is so tiny. Look at that waist. She was 6'2", and she had a waist so little. I don't have my tape measure right here to measure it, but this has to be like 13 inches, like 26-inch waist. And she was 6'2". Imagine how small she was. So here's the skirt. And of course, this is from the 50s, 60s. So I believe they got married in 47 or 48. So I imagine this is the 50s. Anyway, isn't that cute? I wore this to a sock hop in junior high school. She had me put it on, and here I wore it in junior high school. She got married, had a kid, and wore this and made that. Incredible. Little lady. Okay, then last but not least, it seems like there was another box. I think there is. Oh yeah, there is. One moment. Let me pile these up. Okay. I put a box somewhere and I don't know where I put it. Does anybody see it? Can you tell me? Where did I put it? Well, here's one. Oh, maybe I left it upstairs. Wait, let me see. Oh, this isn't, okay. So the one that I don't have, I must have left it upstairs. My dad made a little, it's called a baby jacket or short kimono. And I don't know which one of these patterns he used because they both look very similar. But this is what he made me. And this is a Pattern Company Advance, and it was 25 cents. And I don't think there's a date on this. Fashion Center of the World. Wow. So it's either this one, which it looks a lot like that one, or this one, which it also looks a lot like that one. But it did have a tie. It didn't have buttons. So I'm gathering it's probably this one. So, and then I also have a dress. I'll have to go get that box and show it another time. A dress similar to this. It didn't have all the fancy stuff on the front, but it was just that plain cotton. But the ones I do have, this was my first fancy baby dress, and I want to say my grandpa brought it back from somewhere, but that could be wrong. But anyway, here's my first little dress. Look how cute. Had a little slip under it. Isn't that cute? That bow is so big for this little dress. Anyway, that was my first dress. And then these pajamas, I was older when, although I do remember these being really big, but I was older when he brought these home. These are pink pajamas. And I know it was around the holidays because I got a stomach bug, and my mom told me, I said, I think I'm going to throw up. And she said, don't you throw up on your pajamas. So, of course, right away, that's what I did. So she had to wash these. She had to figure out how to wash these. But look at that. I just love these because Grandpa gave these to me. Anyway, how fun is that? So that's because I left my other box upstairs. That's all I got. But anyway, memories of sewing and what started me in sewing. And originally I was going to go to school to be a fashion designer. And it just wasn't in the books. So, but I sewed all my clothes. In fact, my husband, he said the other day when he met me, he thought for sure he would never have to pay for clothing because I would just sew them all. Fooled him. Anyway, so let's see. What are my plans for this week? My plans for this week are now to pack this all back up so I can take it back upstairs. And then I'm going to go, I've been wanting to go get the plants. I showed you the area that I wanted to plant on the porch with the, with that little trailer that my daughter-in-law gave us. And but it's been raining so much, so I didn't want to go in the rain to go get plants because I'm being a big baby. Well, I'm the youngest. I should deserve to be a big baby. So anyway, hopefully this week I'm gonna go get my plants, and then within the next couple of weeks I'll videotape that and get rid of all the dead ones, because you don't buy plants when it's getting ready to freeze. What was I thinking? I was ready for spring, clearly. So anyway, otherwise we're getting the upper barn. I'm getting the upper barn designed out, ready to do we're going to call it the stitching barn. You could do any kind of stitching. You could do clothing stitching, crochet stitching, anything. We're going to have classes in there, and so I'm going to do that. We're working on that. And then also I'm getting ready to do an Amazon store, get my website connected to it, and then also I'm going to do a destash, Rust Ribbons and Quilts destash. Rust Ribbons and Quilts is the name that my daughter-in-law wanted me to do on a store, so I've always kept that name. And so I'm getting ready to work on those for the next couple weeks and get patterns up to destash, sewing patterns, any kind of thing that I have. It could be a craft. I have so many duplicates of tools I'd like to destash, and if it can help somebody, that'd be great. Not everything I'm going to charge for. Some of them are going to be free to the first person who asks, and then you just have to pay for shipping. Anyway, that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing this week. It is just a gray, gloomy day. I have pickleball at 1, and that's what I'm looking forward to. And I think my grandson's coming for a visit with my daughter. Otherwise, I'm going to be finishing cleaning up this room. I'm going through the room to get ready to destash, and I'll be selling fabrics and different things that I just am not going to use, and you all might as well enjoy them. So anyway, have a great day. Hope you enjoyed looking at some of those old clothes and where I started from when it came to sewing. And at some point, I'll get that other box down and show you. All right. Have a great day, you all wannabe homesteaders, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.